I think you just randomly got to this place. I don't know the justification for why you went to this particular place in the original Silent Hill 2. And I believe the Woodside Apartments is where you encounter Pyramid Head. And you also encounter the Mannequins. God, that section's horrible. I hate that so much. Oh, shit! God damn, that was fast. Oh, it dodges. Wow, it can dodge you? That's pretty cool. The enemy designs are pretty good. They're way better than whatever the hell they were in the original Silent Hill 2.
Hello?
Like, were they even doing anything? I mean, you just hit them like so many times, and they would eventually fall. And they had some very weird behaviors in the original Silent Hill 2. The AI was bizarre, but this definitely feels more realized. Huh. Oh, God! That's very clunky. Look at him. Just standing on top of that for no reason. I bet people are wishing James just cursed out the enemies as he's actively hitting them, like in Dead Space with Isaac.
These clothes.
What about them? They remind you of someone? So is this like James's latent memories being overlaid onto certain assets in Silent Hill because Silent Hill's bringing that out? Yeah, that mannequin dodging my attack was pretty fun. That was pretty fun to see. It just goes to show that the developers actually meant what they said, where they said they changed up the enemy designs. I still have to decide whether I'm going to replay this game for a walkthrough or contribute to my retrospective for Resident Evil 4 Remake, because I had actually planned on doing other games while I was in the middle of doing my Resident Evil 4 Remake retrospective. The problem is, when you get so invested in a game, you put aside other projects because you're that invested. So I feared that if I were to go to a game like Hi-Fi Rush, like I downloaded Hi-Fi Rush a while ago, and I have had the urge to play it. It's just with the things happening in my life right now, and also with the fact that I'm focusing on this retrospective for Resident Evil 4 Remake, I thought I would just forget about the retrospective entirely and just put it off for a bit too long. So that's why I was hesitant to start Hi-Fi Rush. Garbage chute out of ore. Oh, is this the one with the juice box? You place this juice box into the chute and magically it gets this stuff out? It's so stupid. I mean, like, I remember seeing that footage, and it was one of the stupidest moments from Silent Hill 2 OG. Like, a lot of the puzzles never made any sense. Like, that rubber ball puzzle. Why on earth do you need to use a rubber ball to block this water? That way it overflows. Why would a rubber ball do that? That is just so random. Again, it's just a level of goofiness on the developer's part that makes me not take them so seriously with the way they handle the Silent Hill series. And that's not just with the puzzles, it's also with the gameplay, with the characters, but there is that level of goofiness present with Team Bloober's interpretation. Wait, what? Walter Sullivan? That guy? That significant character in Silent Hill 4? Because I know, like, there's that kid you interact with that's like, I think he's meant to be Walter Sullivan's, like, innocent self. That whole moment with, what's his name? Henry? I don't remember his name, the protagonist, where he's talking with that kid, Walter Sullivan, and he's like, "Are you Walter Sullivan?" And then that kid is talking with them, and then the music plays. That's one of my favorite cutscenes because of the fact that it doesn't use cheesy jazz music. They actually use the right kind of music, and I like the feeling you get just listening to the music and at the same time hearing this kid talk. It's like you're out in the cold weather, and you're feeling the cold give you goosebumps. Not like in a scary sort of way, but like there's a calming, pleasant effect to it. Basically, that's what I mean. That's what I actually remember about that cutscene. That's the kind of feelings I get just watching that particular cutscene. It's honestly the only good cutscene I've ever appreciated in the Silent Hill series. But this might change with Silent Hill 2 Remake. And I remember in Silent Hill 4, Walter Sullivan, as a kid, he believed that the apartment he was in was his mother, I believe. I don't remember his exact reasoning, but like, people come up with all kinds of things. Like, it only has to make sense to him. That's the case with, a serial killer like him. But I believe, like, something happened to his parents, and was he taken by child services? I don't remember. But he somehow convinced himself that the apartment he was living in was his actual mother. And I think that's conveyed through some of the enemies, like the wall demons. I know there's a cutscene with the main character and the woman he was with, talking with some kind of manifestation in the ceiling of the apartment he was in, and that manifestation told him that Walter Sullivan believed the apartment was his mother, something like that. I mean, I've never heard of anyone consider an inanimate object or like just an actual building itself to be the mother. It's odd. I've never heard of that kind of delusion, basically. But was Walter Sullivan actually mentioned in the original Silent Hill 2? Not sure. I believe in the original Silent Hill 2, there's a reference or like some kind of newspaper article related to the first protagonist from Silent Hill, or am I thinking of a different character? I don't remember what that newspaper mentioned specifically. Oh! Look at him dodging! Wow. I believe there were certain enemies in Silent Hill Homecoming that could dodge your attack like that. Or could they block? I think it was blocking your attack, actually. Like in Silent Hill Homecoming, there was that enemy that looked like a mannequin. It had, like, blades on its arms, and it crawled on all fours.
Hello?
And people cheesed it by getting it caught on doorways or corners. Because I know Carcinogen SDA used such a method against that enemy. And I believe it could dodge your attacks, or did it block it? I don't remember. Oh! Oh! Ah, damn it, why did I do that? I knew he was gonna attack too. It's so tense, like, getting those dodges. It's always quite a shock when an enemy's about to attack you and you press dodge. I've always liked that about those kind of survival horror games. Compared to just mindlessly, like, getting behind enemies and knifing them like in Resident Evil 1 Remake. Like, there's a lot of tension involved with, like, dodging attacks like that. Like, it really captures that intensity of being in a life or death situation with an enemy. Nice animation cancel, that was really good. I like that you can do that. Just in case the enemy gets any unjustified hyper armor. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more challenge with the combat. And given the aggressiveness of the enemies, it's not going to be as easy to mindlessly run right past them compared to Silent Hill 2 OG. Because all you did was just run past the enemies, because fighting them was a waste of time because the mechanics were horrible. And it was just so time-consuming and soulless with the combat. You didn't even feel like they were enemies, they just felt like hurdles in the Olympics. You just jump over. Oh my god, that little delay he does with the attack. Yeah, this is a clever enemy. The mannequin is a very interesting enemy. Oh. Oh! What a dangerous enemy. That is a legitimately dangerous enemy. Yeah, I really like this game, guys. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it and what they've done. I did not think I was going to like this game this much, but it's actually impressed me so far. And what they've done with the enemies, that is a necessary upgrade to the enemies. They made the enemies actually, like, legitimately threatening to deal with. And not because of poor designs, because they are legitimately dangerous. You've got to really watch their attacks, because they are really good at catching you out. The important thing I just have to note is whether the enemies are going to be used properly in their environments. Because enemy placements are a big issue in all the Silent Hill games. Like what I discussed with Silent Hill 3. Like, people might hate on Silent Hill Homecoming for, like, oh, embracing action horror elements, or even though action horror doesn't exist. It's literally another form of survival horror. Survival horror doesn't necessarily have to be, like, 90s style. This is what I don't understand. Like, the people who define survival horror, they use the most rudimentary definition possible, that they just end up excluding a lot of games that would be considered survival horror. This is a tangent I'll discuss later on. Wow, I went right through the door. Thank God cockroaches are nowhere near as bullshit as they are in Silent Hill 2 OG. Yeah, I can definitely see myself replaying this game. For sure. You know, I already mentioned before in that community post that in this era of like live service games, Souls clones, because there's far too many Dark Souls clones, and the Souls formula has become so tiresome at this point. And with the number of developers copying it, because oh, apparently that's the new norm for games now. I've really become sick of it. Like, I was already sick of Dark Souls 3. Like, when I first played Dark Souls 3, I actually hated it. It was so boring. And I played Bloodborne before that. I had a lot of fun with Bloodborne. Bloodborne was a lot of fun, but now I don't want to like Bloodborne anymore because I feel like the idea of liking the Souls formula leads you down the path of ignorance with difficulty design and enemy designs. And most of the time, the Souls games embrace poor designs with the environments and with bad hitboxes and other confusing moments, like enemies placed in environments where you can literally see their body parts phasing through the geometry. Like, no boss really stands out from each other in an interesting way. But yeah, I'm just really sick of the Souls formula now. Like, too many games have overused it, and one of my subscribers agrees with me. I mean, like, I agree with him, first of all, because he's the one who left that comment. And I 100% agree with them. I mean, like, with games like Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, there's charm to them despite their Souls-like designs, because at least they're trying to tell a story. They have some interesting mechanics with them. They don't rely so much on RPG designs. They rely more on the action designs. Like, every other Souls clone that's an RPG, I can't stand them. Is he just going under the door, or is he just phasing through it? That just looks so weird. I need to keep my flashlight off, I just realized that. Or, never mind, that doesn't work. It's been months since I've actually played a game I liked. I mean, the last game I really, really loved was Marvel Spider-Man 2. But to get a linear experience that I genuinely enjoy right now, this is great. Oh, I remember this scene. This is where that girl comes. I don't remember her name. I don't know what she represents. Is she her own character? Is she something that James's subconscious made through the supernatural part of Silent Hill?
Damn it.
That's it? That's all you're going to say, dude? Wow. He's so casual about it as well. That makes no sense. That whole writing of that scene is just weird with the way the voice acting is. It's the same with like the original Silent Hill too. Also, it's weird how with the mannequins, they like to stand still and hide, but why doesn't your radio pick them up? It's like I can't tell if there's a mannequin in here because my radio isn't emitting static. At least there's a lot more logic with the way the apartments are designed compared to Silent Hill 2 OG, where it just felt like you had to go to random rooms. Is that... Hey, that's Pyramid Head. He's just like, James is not reacting. Why? Why is he not reacting to Pyramid Head? There's gonna be a lot of editing I have to do in order to streamline this. Yeah, see, Phantom Range, that is fucking garbage. That is so stupid. There's no reason that should touch me. It's the worst part about this enemy. Yeah, so for the time being, this is how I'm gonna fight these enemies. And they're very consistent with doing this attack at long range. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. I understand the tension involved with fighting this enemy when it can counterattack, but with that kind of garbage hitbox, it just disincentivizes me from ever partaking in the combat with them. I don't understand that hitbox got past development. Oh, and that's right, I remember, the sirens. The sirens indicate when the other world is coming. Wait, is that why he doesn't react to Pyramid Head? Is that because of the fact that he knows it's his own creation? I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't react to Pyramid Head. I know there's a cutscene that plays where James is inside of a closet and he shoots at Pyramid Head. See, the camera is just an issue when dealing with this enemy, because it's so close to James. I can barely see what's happening sometimes. He noticed me. What? Was that because of the flashlight? Why did it take him so long to react to the flashlight? Let's see how the hit reaction's like. The guns are very powerful because there's less ammunition for them, it seems. You're less likely to be detected with your flashlight out. Okay, so it is a mechanic. It's just very ambiguous with the way it works. So what is it about the flashlight that the enemies don't like exactly? I mean, they're not attracted to the radio, even though the radio interacts with them by emitting static. The flashlight bugs them so much? Why? I don't really understand. It would be nice if the actual paragraph was listed in like the top right corner as I'm here. That way I don't have to constantly go back here. I still don't understand why Silent Hill is generating this. And again, like, what's the point of this puzzle? Like, why is it here? Who made this? Did Silent Hill make this? Did someone else make it? I mean, it's just so confusing why they include these puzzles here when it has no, like, psychological significance to James or to the other characters. It's weird. And it's just interrupting my ability to experience the next threat. Like, why? Like, Resident Evil Revelations understood how to do puzzles with those uncrossing the wire puzzles, because obviously you had to access equipment to bypass doors or to establish communication with the BSAA. And then with Resident Evil 7, they used this puzzle design to convey the sadistic characteristic to Lucas. It's used to convey his character. That I can understand. And also, if you didn't look at one specific videotape, you'd die because you had to know the puzzle solution beforehand. And that was part of the exploration. Because if you tried to solve it the way Lucas wanted you to, you'd die. So you had to cheat. Like, those are the only times the puzzles actually made sense with their presence. Pretty easy to get lost here. You've got to really memorize the path. I know this is the kind of level design that people praise in Resident Evil 1 Remake and Resident Evil 2 Remake, but I really don't see what's so impressive about it. It's good for a first playthrough for confusing you, but it's not that special. It's all going to end up being a pretty linear experience in order to get the best possible path.
Hey, who's there?
I knew it.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it, I swear.
Here's this annoying character.
You okay?
I didn't do anything. He was like that when I got here.
He... Oh, you mean the man back there? In the kitchen?
I didn't do it.
That just sounded so weird the way James said that. Oh, the man back there in the kitchen? I swear, like, the voice acting in the Silent Hill series is just so appalling at times.
I swear I didn't kill him.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm not saying that you did. Look, my name is James.
James Sunderland, that's his name. Right.
Eddie.
Eddie. Okay. So,
I just hope they've changed Eddie's character, because he was just so badly voice acted. He was a very annoying character. Like, I really hope it's like with Kendra from Dead Space, where all Kendra did in Dead Space 1 was complain, and she yelled all the time. But Dead Space Remake, they changed her for the better, and she's way less of an annoying character, for sure.
do you live here, Eddie?
No. I'm not even from this town. It's just...
Something brought you here.
And it's still hard to believe that this guy is even a boss fight. Like, in the original Silent Hill 2, you had to actually fight Eddie as part of a boss fight. And even though he's just a regular human being who theoretically should die from a single gunshot wound or just being hit a few times with a melee weapon, he had so much life. It made no sense at all. That is some of the laziest boss design I've ever seen. And it's just like with Trowser from Resident Evil 4 Remake. The guy was able to walk through bullets. He dashed through your shots all the time. The melee barely stunned him a lot of the times. I mean, like, you pumped his face full of bullets, and yet he was still, like, bad-mouthing you all the time in Resident Evil 4 Remake. It was so stupid. Like, I don't understand why these developers have to settle for these kind of artificial handicaps to create a false boss fight.
Yeah.
Like, do something a bit more clever that actually complements Eddie's human capabilities. He's not some mutant, for crying out loud. Why does he have so much life? It's so lazy, and his AI was really stupid because he ran all over the place, and he had a gun. Like, a lot of the times you had to use the body bags to stop Eddie from hitting you. Like, it was just so badly designed.
Dad, well, they came at me. I didn't know what to do, so I ran. I came here. Figured it might be safe, but then I found the guy in the fridge.
Easy, deep breaths. Look, this place, it's not safe. These things, this whole town, there's something wrong with it. Might be best if you just get out of here.
Something wrong with it, yet it's your special place with Mary.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, you want to come with? Maybe together we can find a way out of this town.
Oh, sorry, but I can't leave. Not yet. I need to find someone.
Oh.
And Eddie, be careful.
Yeah.
He's just gonna leave him behind? Wow. I guess he must think babysitting someone is... Well, he's just gonna close it. I don't get it. It's just weird. There's no concern on his part. He just lets him be.
Eddie, are you gonna be okay?
Yeah. I guess.
Eddie, are you gonna be okay? God, it's like he's talking with a child. I mean, I don't understand why the voice acting is so weird at times. I mean, it's better than Silent Hill 2's voice acting, but it's still just odd with the tone of voice. At least there's no stupid jazz music playing at the moment. Maybe I can draw them away. Nothing? Are you serious? Wow, so much for enemies being distracted by bullets. Not even gonna engage in combat because the frame rate really dies here. The frame rate's dropping. The main problem with fighting mannequins is that you can't see, like they're always fought in dark areas, and the light just doesn't help with actually illuminating them. So pistol ammo and other ammo was quite frequent in Silent Hill 2 OG, but not so much in this one it feels like. Because the bullets do a lot more damage, and they actually stun the enemies. That's the kind of grounded feeling I love getting when I see guns do that to enemies in a logical manner. And it's interesting because Silent Hill Homecoming had a similar kind of mentality with the guns. Oh, wow! That was like a 1-2 punch right there. I did not expect that to work just then. Okay, so there might be something interesting with punishing enemies during a flinch animation. Well, this game could be much better than I thought. Wow. It's impressing me. So this is a pretty interesting set piece with the mannequins hiding like this. It's just trying to get them around corners is pretty annoying. There could be another one, so I gotta be careful. So I like that they're using the enemies like this, and yeah, there's one right there. Yeah, but you do not have a lot of time to punish their flinch animation. So yeah, set pieces like this were non-existent in Silent Hill 2, so they're really trying to make the enemies have more of a presence this time. They're really trying to make the enemies more dangerous. Their presence is worth it because they're actually dangerous. That I really appreciate because that is one of the most important parts of survival horror, because what's the point of putting in enemies when they're not going to do anything? Or you just mindlessly run right past them. This is what the real puzzle of survival horror is trying to figure out the enemies. And knowing how best to save your ammo and when to actually use your ammo. Like, this really feels like a survival horror experience right now compared to the original Silent Hill 2 OG. With being clever with your bullets, with being clever with the enemies. Like, you really have to be tactical in your approach when dealing with the enemies. Not getting floored for some reason, I don't know why. So it just seems to be a random thing, or maybe I have to focus my reticle? I don't know. If the reticle is part of that, that's pretty silly. I'll have to review the footage to see if the reticle plays a role, but at least when when I focus the reticle, it's not blooming. So at least they understood that design with a focus reticle system on like Resident Evil 4 Remake. And it's still remaining focused even when I'm moving, which is nice. It's not with the focus reticle system, it's something else. Yeah, it must be a certain amount of damage you have to do to the legs to trigger that lengthier flinch animation that allows James to finish it off instantly. But I've really got to check these corners very well, because mannequins are really good at hiding. Yeah, it's just random damage. I don't know why it's random. I really wish it was more consistent. Oh, shit! How does anyone actually, like, deal with these kind of balconies? These balconies are so narrow. Why it does this, I don't know. Maybe it's putting more weight on the stuff in there. Okay, if they're giving me that much ammunition, it means there's mannequins somewhere. Okay, so I'm back here. The shortcuts are really well designed. I like that they have those shortcuts there, so you're not wasting time with backtracking and getting sick of the area. That was a fun section. That was pretty difficult. And the way they've designed the mannequins now, where you have to really like watch where they are, because they're very dangerous in combat. I really like that. Again, what does any of this have to do with the lore of Silent Hill? Did the cult design this? Did Silent Hill design this? I mean, I don't understand. Is the serpent supposed to be Mary's cancer? And like the man drawing his sword is James because he feels some sort of responsibility for Mary's death? Like, that's why he made the pyramid heads? Is that what this is about? Which here is the sinner, which carries the... It is. Okay, this is related to James. It has to be. Which here is the sinner, which carries the blame. It has to be James. So where am I putting this guy? Oh, there. Okay. I still don't understand why Silent Hill designs it this way. Like, why would the supernatural effects of Silent Hill hide a key inside of this device for James? And how does that even work? Like, you have manifestations based around certain characters, right? Like that one manifestation based around that girl who whose family members abused her. The manifestation has a door inside, and it's weird. Like I don't know how best to describe this enemy, but like it's not a manifestation of James's trauma. It's a manifestation of her trauma. So like, why is this showing James's trauma, but not other characters? Is this shown differently to other characters? Like, that's the confusing part with this whole supernatural design right here. It's really confusing.